good to see you once again. So China's vital to your strategy, making up about 31% of total profits in your record numbers for 2011. How would you characterize this year or the past year?
Well, China is our fastest growing market. It's doubled in profits in 2011. Greater China now accounts for 25% of the total group's income and 31% of the profits.
Yeah, but you're still making losses in consumer banking in mainland China.
We are investing aggressively in the consumer banking, so it's a cost by choice.
Yes.
We are increasing our distribution. We added 19 branches last year. We've added 2 more already this year. And we will take every license we get and keep growing there.
Yeah, when will you start making money in China in consumer banking at least?
We are making money if we stop making the investment, but we intend to make, we think China is going to be a very significant market for us overall. What we miss is that the numbers that you see out of China are only part of the story. We make a lot of money from China clients outside of China.
Right, like here in Hong Kong,
in
like
Hong
in
Kong
Singapore.
and several other markets, Africa, Southeast Asia, South Asia, etc. And that is almost 3 times what we make in China.
Okay, what about loan quality in China right now? There's a lot of questions about bad debts. Any concerns in what you're seeing right now on mainland China?
We are seeing growth moderate a bit, but still much in excess of anything in the West. And in our portfolio, we are feeling quite secure, both in terms of credit and in terms of growth.
Okay, well, Hong Kong was an outstanding year for you as well, record number. And also Singapore, look at this outperformance. Income up 26%, profits up 40% in the Lion City. Is this coming from your ASEAN business that really, I guess, is a pinnacle in Sing itself?
Both Hong Kong and Singapore are benefiting as hubs, Hong Kong to the Greater China region and Singapore to the ASEAN region, and that is giving us a huge fillip. But in Singapore alone, in the consumer business, we now bank a quarter of the banking population. Right. So it is a big domestic business as well.
Okay, wow. And also India, though, still a bit of a laggard, I guess, some concerns there. What about the latest GDP numbers that we got? I mean, people are concerned that if we go below 6% in India, that's almost like a crash in the economy. What do you think?
I think India is having a slow growth over 11 and likely to stay in 12, largely because of the policy measures and the lack of governance to some extent in India. But we think long-term fundamentals remain intact. For Standard Chartered, it remains a core market. And our enthusiasm about India remains undiminished.
Do you think it'll still be disappointing, though, in 2012, given the macro environment?
We expect 2012 to be in positive territory, in growth, but in single digit.
Okay. And also Korea, you're not satisfied with your performance there. What's happening in Korea for you right now?
Well, Korea is largely the result of the early retirement program, which we're very happy with the uptake because it puts into motion the performance for pay, which was never the culture there before. So we are path setting. We again expect Korea to be in positive territory in 2012.
Okay, let's hope, fingers crossed. Okay, let's talk about hiring because everybody wants to know how can they hand in their resume and get a job at StanChart's. So you hired 1,600 people in 2011. You're looking to increase headcount by another 3% in 2012. How much of that will be here in the Asia Pacific?
Well, we are going to be continuing to hire as long as we keep growing. And in the areas we keep growing. We've hired quite a few people in the last 2-3 years, and we've also been in a good position to attract very good talent. We are going to continue to pay to retain and attract talent. So we expect Asia, where we have 70% of our business, will be the largest part of the hiring.
Yeah, that's
particularly
right.
in China, where we are growing distribution and products.
Oh, so most of that hiring will go in China.
There will be quite a lot in China.
Yeah, how much headcount would that be? Like a few hundred people or so?
It will be in the hundreds.
It will be in the hundreds. Okay. And what about, I guess, retaining and attracting talent? Because we were talking to HSBC's Asia Pacific CEO earlier on this week, and their costs went up by 10% because they have to do all these contracts, which is quite interesting in this environment when you hear about so many job cuts. So what's going on for StanChart? Do you feel like you have to pay more to keep the top guys around?
Well, 2011 was a year marked by inflation, so some of our high growth markets did have wage inflation. But that pressure seems to have eased in 2012.
So that pressure has eased in 2012. All right, well, let's talk about some of the headwinds for StanChart going forward, because you guys say you're on track to deliver double-digit income growth once again, maybe another record year, right? But it looks like the regulatory environment might be hurting you, and also the U.S. dollar, the strength of the U.S. dollar, when you convert it back, is that what happens, or the other way?
Our confidence for the 2012 aspiration really comes from the fact that one is we are diverse across markets and across businesses. We've also been having a consistent track record and momentum, and we've closed 2011 on a very strong momentum, began 2012 on a very good opening. It's still early in the year, but we're feeling quite good about this year because the opportunities are still very attractive and significant.
Yeah, and you also say that you're not immune to potential turbulence in the global economy. What's the biggest threat, in your view, to delivering profits for 2012?
Well, the Eurozone crisis doesn't hold any first-order impact for us, but there will be second-order consequences if things get much worse. But regulation per se is probably our single largest worry. But having said that, we are standing quite above the fray in terms of capital. We have far in excess capital than we need. We have huge liquidity. We have $165 billion in cash, and our credit portfolio looks pretty clean. So, we're feeling quite good, and given our long presence in the Asian markets and our strong growing client and customer relationships, we are feeling very good about 2012 and beyond.
Yeah, you sound really happy this morning, Jaspal. Good to see you.